We start off with the song, right? Pity me. Dun, 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 dun. Boom. Wow. He's damaged, dude. He's damaged. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Double Toasted TV show, What's in the Box, where we discuss the latest in TV news, coverage, spoilers, reviews, and all of that jazz. And I am, of course, DJ Miles, and I am here with my co-host, Christian. Christian, how are you doing?
Well, nah, man. Thanks for having me as always. And Toasties, it's glad to be back on this Saturday.
Before we begin with the show, if you haven't heard by now, we are on SoundCloud. So everyone who has been supporting us on SoundCloud, thank you guys so much. And as of last week, we are officially on YouTube, which me and Christian have already discussed and decided, let's stay away from the YouTube comments. You know, but for everyone else supporting and loving us, go ahead and check us out there too. And for people who are now tuning in or who are just still late bloomers to What's in the Box all about, this show is free and will keep on being free until further notice, until I tell all of you guys otherwise. New York Comic Con is happening this weekend, and as the news is continuing, rolling out with all the new stuff, one of the biggest things that came out was Harley Quinn. So let's go ahead and play a trailer, and we'll be right back.
I can't wait for you guys to see my new show on DC Universe.
They hate everything.
No way. Oh, is that the logo? I like it.
You're gonna hate it.
All right, so that was a trailer for the Harley Quinn animated series that will be coming out on DC's streaming service sometime in 2019. Christian, when you see that, what are you thinking initially?
It's funny because they mentioned it. It has a Deadpool-ish vibe to it, right? Like breaking the fourth wall and all that stuff, the kind of over sarcasm to it. I think it's riding a fine line where it could be terrible and I might end up hating it beyond words. But based on that preview, I love the tone. You know what I mean? Like, it seems really playful. It seems cool. If I have to criticize something, is I don't like that voice for Harley Quinn, right? Because Harley Quinn's always supposed to be like a weird Staten Island Brooklynite bimbo or something. Like, she sounds like Fran Drescher from
J voice. Huh?
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
Dr. J.
That shit. Which you're just like, okay, that's fine. So that's my one criticism is like, you know, that's not really the Harley Quinn that we've come to know. But at the same time, like, Harley Quinn's new, relatively, right? Like, she's a 90s character. So they can still take all the artistic liberties they want with it, I think.
I'm actually digging the voice. And I only say that because I don't even think about it until people tell me that it was a voice by Haley Kuko. I don't know how to say her last name. Kuko from Ocarina of Time. Those cuckoos? I don't know. But anyway.
I think it's Cuoco.
Cuoco. Yeah. So Haley Cuoco, whatever. Listen, so yeah, she is the voice for Harley Quinn. And when I see this, I don't know. I feel like it works. You know, if I wasn't even thinking about it for 2 seconds, you know, where you were saying, yeah, maybe she had more of that like Staten Island thing. I felt like maybe that's what she was aiming for. And maybe if it wasn't 100%, I'm still kind of on board with it. Like you said, there is a Deadpool vibe. I like how they made fun of, what was it, the Deadpool series that was supposed to come out? What was the thing?
Yeah, the FX Donald Glover Deadpool series that ended up getting pulled. But also, I like that they took shots at themselves, like their own cinematic universe, by saying, isn't it supposed to be depressing and bleak like a DC thing? Mm-hmm. So it looks like they are like meta and in on the joke in a way that those films rarely can be. Yeah. And I think that's the kind of cool thing about having a character like the Joker or Harley Quinn, because then you can kind of explore that. Also, like the Poison Ivy's just hanging out. Like it's going to be like a buddy cop movie set within Arkham. You know what I mean? It seems really cool.
Harley Quinn is going to see the rogue gallery of other people on here, right? So let me go ahead and read some off. She'll come across against Dr. Psycho, which I don't know who that is. There's Lex Luthor, Wonder Woman, and of course Batman, because how can you have anything with DC and not have Batman? I mean, he might as well be sandwiched in with every DC property at this point. The events of this show will start off with her breaking up with the Joker after, you know, she gets screwed over by him, and that, of course, Harley Quinn is now going to lead the pack and just kind of go off on her own adventures. And and you know, Haley was saying she had lots of fun, you know, doing this. Of course, she's coming off of Big Bang Theory, which ends in 2019. So, hey, she's getting work. Of course, how can we talk about the DC universe when their first big show that they have going on is Titans? So let's go ahead, because they released a new trailer and they're going to try and convince you, me, and the rest of the world on why you should watch this. So let's go ahead and play that right now.
Yo, man, they got that fucking song from The Lost Boys, that vampire movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh my God! I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's nothing, man. I don't know. That song pissed me off. Number one. Number two, I just feel like Teen Titans is so good. Like, why don't we just stick with Teen Titans in that format? I have no idea why we're doing this shit. Also, that one lady looks like Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim. I just have a lot of feelings about this. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, the fuck Batman of it all is like the least offensive thing of all of this. You know?
Wow. Listen, you should never judge a book by its cover, but you know what? Because we live in the internet, of course we're going to judge a book by its cover. This shit looks fucking whack. This shit looks horrible. I don't care about this. How can they make a trailer look possibly more worse than what I saw in trailer 1? But newsflash, everyone, it's already greenlit for a season 2. That's right. Titans is already renewed for a season 2, and they came out with this new trailer to be like, hey guys, you like hashtag fuck Batman? Well, check this out. Bam. Christian, what do you
know
think?
what I like about it, dude, is that we just watched the fucking Harley Quinn video, which is making fun of this fucking thing specifically, and they're coming out on the same network. You know what I mean? Like it's animation, which is, as you know, DC animation is awesome, man. It's really great. It's really wonderful most of the time, and it's certainly better than any of their live action stuff. And it just seems like, yeah, man, the live action shit is trying way too hard. Meanwhile, the animation is going to succeed, and it's taking shots at the live action stuff, right? Like, is that not just like, it seems soulless, man?
Dude,
there was like flat. The textures were, there was nothing going on there. I'm getting angry talking about
No.
this.
I mean, that's what makes some of it just like, I almost wanted to stop it and dissect it at moments and be like, who made this executive decision? This is horrible, right? We start off with the song, right? No. Dog.
Dude, it's a great song. I mean, it's the best song from 1987. If you've never seen The Lost Boys, man, you really got to watch The Lost Boys. That song works. You're killing me.
Pity me. Boom. Wow. He's damaged, dude. He's damaged. He might as well have had that fucking thing printed on his forehead. I'm Beast Boy, but I eat people. I'm damaged.
Like, where do you go from here? You know, like, just for my depression and my mental state, where do we possibly go from here?
One more thing. I just love when Beast Boy's like, Robin. That's Robin.
It's trying to be like that moment in Dark Knight Rises, you know, where like the little kids see in the school bus, they see the fucking Batwing flying. He's like, that's Batman. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get all emotional. No one gives a shit about Robin.
I'm not going to be too critical on any effects on TV shows because I understand like it's a budget thing. You know, they don't want to like dump too much or blow their wad on one giant episode or one specific scene. So let's spread it out and sprinkle it throughout the entire season. But man, a lot of these effects look like, fuck, man, was this Lost in 2003? Because that's the special effects I'm getting with this. It's 2018. I'm sure things should be a little bit cheaper to produce or even things to make and look pretty or look somewhat realistic. I see this DC trailer, and I say this in the best of ways. Lost did it better. Lost did it better for what it was all about. I look at this, I have no idea what they're doing. I am not excited whatsoever.
This is just trying way too fucking hard to be like edgy for the sake of being edgy, you know?
But look
so,
at this.
I mean, I don't have any faith in it. Like, and it makes me a little concerned because, as you know, I'm a big Swamp Thing fan, and they have that in production. And it's just like, if this is the kind of, you know, attention to detail they're going to try to pay with these characters, then I'm like really worried about the entire slate of live action shit they have coming down the pipe. Because they got Doom Patrol, right? We have Doom Patrol coming up too, and it's just like, that's like, you know, DC's X-Men. But if they're going to treat it with the same kind of care, then we're fucked, man. It's not going to be good.
Yeah, no, and let's go ahead and roll on to the more DC news of it all. So Doom Patrol, which Christian was just saying, is a whole ensemble piece of DC's strangest group of outcasts, right? And we have some casting news, right? So we have Matt Bomer, who is this guy over here to the left. He will be playing, what's this character's name? Negative Man? Is that who that is? Okay, so we got Negative Man. And then we have Brendan Fraser, which when I think of him, I always only think about The Mummy every time. He's going to be playing Robot Man, which it might be a little bit hard for you guys to see, but that was just showed off on Comic-Con, these past few days. So if you guys can look at that, it's on the top right. I think it looks good for what it is. Again, I don't know that much about Doom Patrol. So we have Brendan Fraser as Robot Man. We have Elastai Woman, played by April Bowlby, and Crazy Jane, played by Diane Guerrero. So, and this is all done and written by Gerard Way, who is the lead singer of My Chemical Romance. And again, I think they're trying to just make all these universes in the show kind of, or in DC streaming, mesh into one giant thing. So I like the casting.
Let me ask you a question. Is it official? So Gerard Way's writing the entire thing? Because I know he's been writing the last 3 comic arcs. So they may have been taking inspiration from that. But is he actually writing on the live action show?
Yeah. He's hands-on, being at least one of the writers for this anyway.
See, that guy's rough because his music is really bad. But he's a pretty good comic book writer, man. I hate to say it. He's a really decent. He did the Umbrella Academy, which is also a show that Netflix is adapting right now. And so it's he's not bad. I hate to say it. So this might actually be in good hands.
And rolling on to the last bit of news with DC, we have Lobo is now going to be revealed for Season 2's Krypton, which... Oh, yeah, this was a show. Okay, I'm sorry. So this was a show. I don't know how well it's been doing on the Sci-Fi Network, but... Hey, there's the picture for Season 2 for Lobo. And again, for people who don't know, because I don't know that much, so Christian, if you want to educate me, please educate me on the character of Lobo. All I know is that he's just this, bounty hunter from outer space who rides a motorcycle. I don't know how
he
this
basically nailed it. I never took a deep dive into him, but he looks like a motherfucking Mortal Kombat character, right? Who's that Native American dude who can turn into a wolf and shit? You know what I'm talking about?
And he got it on his crotch too. He got a skull thing. I don't know. Maybe he can do some fatality for us.
You got to know how serious he is when you got a skull on your crotch, bro. Come on, that lets people know you're not kidding.
So that was our DC coverage news with Comic-Con. And speaking of Comic-Con, because we still got a lot more stuff going on for you guys, we have new images of Star Wars TV show being produced by our boy Jon Favreau, and here we go, bam. So what's this called? The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Mandarin.
If you guys don't know, technically a Mandalorian is anyone who comes from Mandalore, but within Star Wars, they always talk about, it's Boba Fett. Boba Fett has his Mandalorian armor and all that. Mm-hmm. And based on this photograph, it looks like it seems like it's in that vein, right? Is it another Fett clone? Maybe. I don't know if it's going to be a direct descendant. I don't know any of that stuff, right? Because again, Mandalore is a place. But that's awesome. And what I really like about it is that it's taking one specific perspective and viewpoint from the Star Wars universe and building a story around it. Everything I've heard from it seems like they're trying to make a Western out of Star Wars, which is awesome to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that. And then to play the Mandalorian, right, the titular character, they're talking about Pedro Pascal from Game of Thrones and Narcos, our boy, who I fucking I just finished Narcos 12 hours ago, dude. And I need more Pedro Pascal. So I think that's great casting news. And of course, you already talked about Favreau being up top. We also got announcements of people he's going to try to get to direct the show. So we got Bryce Dallas Howard's going to try to direct an episode. Taika Waititi. I never say that name right, but I hope I nailed it. And they're going to come in and do a couple episodes. So this is not going to be some bullshit affair. Disney's given them $100 million for the 10 episodes, and they're bringing in top-notch talent to helm the series. I'm excited, man. What do you think?
Dude, I'm super excited too. And here's the thing. I'm not the biggest Star Wars guy in, when I say that, as diving really into it with the lore and all that, I know just enough about Star Wars, but I'm glad that now they're branching out. You have someone like Pedro Pascal, which all of us immediately think of, the Red Viper and all that stuff, or Javier Pena from, Narcos. I love that, they are grabbing him because I think he's really hot right now in terms of, all the things he wants to get involved in. And I think this is just another perfect opportunity for him to even just branch out and become adored by the fans because
I was going to add this too, because I love Star Wars. I've been watching this shit my whole life, rocking a Star Wars sweater and shit. But here's the truth. I didn't think brown people were in the future because there's no brown people. Lando's there, but Lando's black. To be a brown dude, there's never, you know what I mean? These last Star Wars movies, they gave us Diego Luna, right? He's in Rogue One, and now we got Pedro Pascal. It's a big deal, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're there. We're in the future now, guys.
And I was also going to say, too, what's going to really excite Star Wars fans is that the guy here on the image is, he's the guy that wrote the Clone Wars and Rebels. And for people who don't know, he loves linking his Star Wars anything together. So if he can somehow link this to the overall lore of the movies, or even more into the Clone Wars or Rebels, wherever this takes place, I think you're going to be in good hands. So that excites me a lot. And man, it just excites me so much, like the Avatar stuff. When you hear that, hey, we're doing more stuff with this because you guys want more. And who's going to be helming the projects? People that you trust, the people who wrote this, the people who did the original score, the people who wants to make sure that, okay, if this is somewhat of a cash cow, at least let us make this proper and do it right, So you got lots of good moving pieces to make this a complete story. And again, when you look at the images over here, dude, that looks amazing. That doesn't look like some cheap outfit. That looks like they're putting time, energy, and effort into the set pieces and props and all that stuff. And yeah, I get super excited, man.
If they nail this, we're talking about opening the Star Wars universe like so wide, man, because then you can tell any story you want within that prism.
All right, so let me go ahead and move on to the next story. We've been talking about this weeks and weeks, but it looks like we're getting one step closer towards the reveal of Daredevil, and they just dropped another trailer once again in Comic-Con. So let's go ahead and play that. There's two of them, but I'm just gonna play one of the trailers.
He found someone to kill me. Hello, Karen. I'm Daredevil.
Question, I'm pretty sure this is Disney. This is Netflix's last hold on anything Marvel in terms of these properties. I think they worked out a deal where they said, hey, we will and always have this. And I was gonna say Sabrina the Teenage Witch. What's the female character? Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. I think they're keeping that because Netflix also put money into that. So I think they're going to keep that. But in terms of like where this is going to go, if it's smart on Disney's end, I think they move on from this, and whatever they move forward with their streaming service, they can kind of now have a fresh slate. Although it is a little upsetting because, again, the guy who plays Kingpin, such an amazing actor. The guy who's playing Bullseye looks so awesome. And I like, again, you get that Colin Farrell taste out of your mouth from the 2003 movie because this guy looks like he knows what he's doing. And I like the role reversal. And I don't know, Christian, this was always a comic book thing where Bullseye played Daredevil at some point and made him look like the bad guy. Is this something new, or is this something from a comic book?
No, it happened a couple times. Like, so if you don't know, like, what I really like about this is Bullseye is so intrinsically linked with Daredevil in terms of like seminal things that happened. Mm-hmm. So like in Daredevil 181, I think Bullseye kills Elektra. Yeah. So like that's shit. Like this big pivotal moment. So by the way, just keep an eye out for that shit. But yeah, man, I haven't seen that before, but I think that I've seen it before, but I think that they're trying to drive home too is the idea of like your own worst enemy is yourself. And like Matt Murdock looks like he's on the fucking edge here. And now he's got someone going around kind of like looking like him, taking credit for it and stuff like that. By the way, can I just say that I see someone else saying it in the chat and I agree with them. Yeah. I like when the first couple episodes of the entire series where he was just rocking like a fucking cloth around his face and stuff.
Yeah, donning the black. He
was a low rent Daredevil and it felt gritty and it felt real. And I liked it because like when you think vigilantes, it's like, okay, Batman has a lot of money. Tony Stark has a lot of money, blah, 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 blah. But like, he's a lawyer, but he's not like a billionaire, So it's like, in terms of like really cool suits, I liked it more when it was just like some raggedy thing.
But again, if this is their last, hurrah with Daredevil, where do you think they take it? Do you think they take it to a Defenders season 2? Or do you think they're going to end it with, hey, we started off hot. We were okay. We got a little bad. So let's just go ahead and end it on top with Daredevil and just kind of leave it as is.